Hello kids, today I'll tell you the story of Ugly Duckling. Once upon a time there was a duck who laid 6 beautiful eggs. One day she looked into her nest in amazement, for there were her 6 small eggs, but laying next to them was another egg which is much bigger than the other. That's odd, she thought, and went back to sit on the nest. Soon, one by one, all the eggs hatched and come out 6 pretty yellow ducklings. Yet the biggest still not hatched. The mother duck sat on the large egg for another day, another night, until eventually the egg cracked and 7 ducklings came out. But this one was very different, with grey feathers and large brown feet. You do look different from my other chicks, exclaimed the mother duck. All other ducklings start making fun of him and they start calling him ugly. One day, the mother duck laid her ducklings down to the river to learn the swim. One by one, they jumped into the water and splashed about. But when the big grey duckling leaped into the water, he swam beautifully. He could swim faster and further than any of his brother and sisters. The other ducklings were jealous and began to resent him. You are big, ugly duckling, they hissed at him. You don't belong here. And when their mother was not looking here, they chased him away. The ugly duckling felt very sad as he went away across the field. I know I am not fluffy and golden like my brother and sister, he said to himself. I may have grey feathers and big feet, but I am not just good as they, and I am better at swim. He sat down under a bush and started crying. Just then he heard the dog sound, only a short way from where he was hiding. A dog rushed past him, sniffing the ground. The ugly duckling did not dare to move. He stayed under a bush until the dark. Only then he did feel it was safe to come out. He set off, not knowing which way he is going, until eventually through the darkness. He wandered along for a long time until at last he reached a lake where he could live without anyone to bother him. He lived on the lake for many months. At last, spring came. The weather got warmer and ice on the lake melted. The ugly duckling felt that sun on his feather. I think I'll go for a swim, he thought. He swam right out into the middle of the lake, where the water was clear as mirror. He looked down at his reflection in the water. He started looking, staring at him, and asked himself, who am I? What I am. At that moment, 3 big white birds, just like himself, flew towards him and landed on the lake. They swam right up to him, and one of them said, you are so handsome, Swan, that we have ever seen. Would you like to join us? So, that's what I am. I am a swan, thought the bird that has been an ugly duckling. I would like to join you, he said to the other swans. Am I really a swan? He asked, and not quite believing it could be true. Of course you are, replied the other. You are just like us. The 3 older swans became his best friend, an ugly duckling that was now a beautiful swan. All swans across the lake and they lived together. He knew that he was one of them and that he would never be lonely again. So, kids, hope you have enjoyed the story. Thank you.